Minasan, welcome to the January recap. First one we're starting out with today is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask and Link to the Past. I really enjoyed the artwork in this. The stories themselves are kind of a given, especially if you've played The Legend of Zelda games. All in all, a very good read. They did add in a couple of chapters, or a chapter, in the Majora's Mask section of it that is not canon to the games. It was a little bit of filler to be like, kind of hold them over while the actual game came out so they could get the rest of the story. I really enjoyed that one. I think more than I did the actual story of it, because it's something that was new, something that was so far removed from the game that it could be canon, even though I know it's not. It essentially is the creation of Majora's Mask before its corruption and everything like that. With that being said, Majora's Mask, A Link to the Past, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next on my read was Beck Omnibus Volume 1. This is the Spanish edition. I'm very thankful that I do speak Spanish, and learning how to read Spanish makes that, for this kind of stuff, possible. I have a couple other Spanish volumes that I may or may not read, both of them being Death Note. It's like the Death Note Black and the Death Note Brick, but in Spanish. But yeah, Beck, I am super excited for the series. Kodansha is going to be dropping these omnibuses in English later this year. This is a story that hits kind of close to home. For those of you who know me in real life know that I used to be a part of a bunch of bands. I have played music most of my life, and this just feels right. So our main character here does not really do a whole bunch of music, but through the course of this volume learns how to play guitar and come to find out that he can sing really well. Great. This hits a whole bunch of nice little heartstrings for me. Very much enjoyed it. I give this a 10 out of 10. While this read is not in order, the next one that I did finish was The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, Volume 1. I am a sucker for good rom-coms. I love my love story. I love smoking behind the supermarket with you. Give me a good rom-com and I am a happy man. And this hits all of the marks that I want, with a beautiful meet-cute, characters that I can really get behind, and a love story that is just magnificent. Also give it a 10 out of 10. And Her Cat. This one is an absolutely amazing one-shot. The premise of it is pretty simple. We are following the story of a lady and a cat that she found in a rainstorm, and the life that they live together. We see a lot of the things that progress through the eyes of the cat, and while he doesn't always understand everything she's saying, we do, because we get the little word bubbles for it. This one holds another place close to my heart, just like Beck. For those of you who know, I am a 2-cat household, and I absolutely love my babies. And so this kind of makes me feel that same feeling. Often while the main character has some issues with the life that they're going through, they do rely on the cat, especially towards the end, to kind of be that emotional buffer for them. And my cats are definitely that for me as well. All in all, 10 out of 10 for sure. Next on the list is Saint Seiya Show. Saint Seiya Show Volumes 1 and 2. Saint Seiya Saint Show is the sequel to Saint Seiya, the actual series, by Masami Kurumada, with the art by Chimaki Kuroi. Now this is a canon story that takes place before and during the events of Saint Seiya proper. I can't really complain too much about it. There is a little bit of a slow pacing when it comes to it, and the fights are wonderful. All in all, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Death Notes, Volume 1 and 2. What can I say about Death Note? It is a classic series with a wonderful anime, albeit I have not watched the anime since it aired. It is still one of my all-time favorites. I have all of this collection here. I bought the box set with the How to Read. I have the short stories, the Black Edition in Spanish and the Brick in Spanish, so Death Note is definitely one of my things. I also have somewhere around here, in my other pile of books, is a cosplay Death Note. It was one of my favorite series in high school, still is one of my favorite series till this day, but I don't think it holds up, especially as I've gotten older and more conscious of the world. And it kind of makes sense, since it is shoujo, or shonen, sorry, that it kind of does not progress or age as well, with me at least, as it did when I was a kid. There are a lot of things that I question, in particular when it comes to the investigation and policing that you find inside of the volumes. And while I understand as the overhead that, Kira is supposed to be getting away with everything that he's doing, they were close, just within these 2 volumes, a handful of times to catching him. And every single time Light says, yeah, this was a part of my plan, but it really doesn't feel like it was part of his plan. He's just saying that to save face. At least that's how I gathered. All in all, still a 7 out of 10 read, even if it doesn't hold up as well. And the last books that I read this month are Blood on the Tracks, volumes 1 through 11. Now I'm reading this with an Instagram book club by the name of Chapter Zero, run by our good friend, the Manga Guy. You can find him on Instagram. I'll put his little link right here if you want to join. We are currently picking out books for February, and it looks like we might be reading Planetes for next month. But right now we are finishing off Blood on the Tracks. I have 11 of them, and I've picked just 11 to show you guys. This is a crazy, crazy read. I was super hesitant going into this read because I'm not the biggest fan of horror. Like, even amongst like the greats like Junji Ito, I only have 2 volumes of his, and I've really only read 1 of the 2. And, you know, while they're not super, super scary, like horror movies and thriller movies are not my thing. But reading them seems to be something that I kind of enjoy. Often when I was talking about this in our discussions, I would bring up the fact that it felt like a car crash. The sensation where you can't stop looking at it. I can't stop turning the page. I have so much anxiety while reading it, but I need to know what happens next. And it makes me question the sanity of the author, Shuzo Ushimi. And there are some things that happen. I've already finished the series, so those will be finished off in the February recap, and I'll be trying to do a whole video on this series alone as well. But it makes me question the sanity of Shuzo Ushimi, because what in the actual fuck am I reading? So mind you, while I give this a 10 out of 10, and this is the one from this month that I fully recommend everybody should read, it is not for the faint of heart, not for those who cannot handle their anxiety, or know those that have severe trauma, and particularly around SA or familial abuse of some sort, because that is covered heavily in this series, and it is just something else that I cannot express. With that being said, 19 out of 25 for the goals month, 300 in total that we're going to read so far at the end of January, 19 out of 300. We're making good headway in February. I fully anticipate to finish my goal in February, because after I finish this, I'm going to go back to reading some more. So our goal for February is jumped up from 25 to 31, because I had to add the 6 from the last month, which is how we're going to continue doing this rollover as we go out through finishing the year. The goal is to get on top of it so I don't have to read as much throughout the month. Have one month where I just kind of fully, get myself caught up and ahead so I can leisurely go through enjoying the rest of the 300 read. Why I set myself up for 300? You got me. I almost tried to do a volume a day, and I haven't been able to keep up with that at all. 300 might not even make it this year, but it's okay. We're going to give it a shot. Even so, thank you so much for joining me on this first recap. Like I said, we're going to have a video for Blood on the Tracks come out just sometime next month, as well as February's recap. And with that, I will catch all of you in the next one.